Hi everyone, I am here to review and demonstrate the Yayoge Polygel, and this polygel is the natural clear, which means it's not going to be crystal clear. It is a 30 ml tube. It's selling right now on their website for $3.99 and the regular price is $6.30. So yes, there is a sale going on. They also have this polygel in 60 ml tubes, and they do carry their own slip solution. I will have the link in the description box below if you want to check it out. They have a lot of things to offer on their website. I also see where they have free shipping on orders over $40. I'm going to be demonstrating this polygel over a clear swatch stick. And I do notice it's a little bit firm. It's harder to push out of the tube. So yeah. And here I am wetting a corner of a paper towel. I want to have that nice and wet. And this is how I get my brush wet. I found that this just works a lot easier. And I also do have some alcohol in a dapping dish. And what I do is I take my brush and I just press it into the wet paper towel. And this will straighten out my bristles for me, and it also dampens my brush but doesn't oversaturate it as if I was to dip it in the dapping dish. And if you watch, you can see I'm tapping the excess out on the dry side of the paper towel too. That really helps too. Now watch, you can see where my brush will soak up the alcohol here. And then if I just have too much, then I tap it off on the dry side. And this seems to work a lot better for me than as opposed to like dipping my brush in the alcohol every time. And what I like to do when I start out on polygels is I tap it. I get my brush a little wet and then I tap the polygel and I see if it's going to stick right away. And this one is not doing that. And I am able to pull the polygel down the swatch stick with little trouble. I mean, I can feel that it is very firm though. It's not sticking at all. And you can tell it's firm. Watch me lift up the polygel because there's a bubble under there and I'm trying to get it out. But look, do you see how stiff that is? It just stays right up in the air, the polygel. But yet I can easily pull it back down. And you'll see me do that again. And that's pretty amazing because it has a lot of control to it. And I was impressed by that. And I don't have to wet my brush hardly at all. And here I go again, lifting it up and then pulling it down. It doesn't even string out. You know how some polygels you use and it strings out on you? Well, you're going to see that throughout this video, not once does this polygel string out. It does not get sticky. It is not a sticky polygel at all. I did speed up the video, but this polygel would be perfect for people who live in warm climates. I think if you live in a warm climate, you probably would want a polygel that is firm in consistency because that will give you more control. In the warm weather, polygels and gels tend to be even softer, and it doesn't matter if you have air conditioning or not. When it strings on you, you have to use more of the slip or alcohol. And as you can see throughout this video, I really didn't have to use much alcohol at all. And I did have to put some pressure on this polygel, as you can tell by the bristles fanning out. And right here, I'm just applying a star into that soft polygel. I'm going to apply another one and then I'll cure that into place. And now I'm coming back in and I'm going to encapsulate those stars with another layer of polygel. And I really think this is easy to work with for me. I actually prefer a polygel that is a little bit on the firm side, and I do appreciate a polygel that is not sticky, that doesn't stick to my brush. And you know, people say, oh, don't overwet your brush. You have to overwet your brush, especially if the polygel is sticking to the bristles. I mean, you have to, you know, that's how you stop it from sticking to your brush, is by wetting your brush, you know. And I just had to put that in there. And you can tell by this polygel that it is not a sticky polygel because I don't have to use as much alcohol and it's not sticking. So I think it's a good polygel, although I won't be able to do the wear test for you because I'm not wearing it, but I have seen other reviews on it and they say it wears good, and I'm sure it does wear good. It kind of reminds me of the Tones polygel, although Tones was a little bit more grittier and this is smoother, but the way it works and it just feels like Tones, you know, and Tones wore really well. And now I will cure this into place and then I will do some filing here. I wanted to file a little bit on camera and just tell you that it filed really easy, but it wasn't too soft for filing a polygel, or it wasn't too hard. It reminded me of when I file my hard builder gels. It was easy. And then I will go ahead and get a buffing block out after I clean this, and then I will top coat it for you. And that's what it looks like before we top coat. And now I am top coating, and then I am going to flip this over and I'm going to top coat the underside and see if that gives us a little bit more clarity. But it's not going to be clear because it's a natural clear. So just remember that. It's a natural clear. And I will cure that for 1 minute. And that's what the nail looks like all finished. I really just have to say that I am impressed with this Yayoge Natural Clear Polygel. I really liked how it worked. I think the consistency is just what I like in a polygel. Not too soft, not overly hard, and it's not sticky. And I didn't have to use as much of the alcohol. So I really think it's great for the price. I mean, $3.99 on sale and regular price of $6.30 a tube. I think it's a good deal. I do have some stamping polishes coming up next for review from the Yayoge company. And there's 12 colors and they are really nice. So be watching for that. Thank you, Yayoge, for sending me this polygel for a review. And thank you to the rest of you for watching. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.